It is 7 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday in 2026. The alarm just went off, you open your eyes, you grab your phone to turn it off, and there it is, staring right at you. You aren't even fully awake yet, but the stress is already starting. It is not a good morning text from your partner or a funny meme from a friend. It is a cold, hard banking notification. You just paid $14.99. Money left your account while you were sleeping. You stare at the screen and realize it's for a streaming service you haven't opened since that specific show's last season premiered 2 years ago. You swore you were going to cancel it last month, but you forgot. Again. And in that moment, you think, well, it is just $15. It's not going to bankrupt me. But then you check your email. The car insurance bill just arrived, and it is up 8% from last year for absolutely no reason. Then you see the internet bill, up another 5%. And suddenly, that just $15 starts to feel heavy. You feel exactly like I did 6 months ago, completely paralyzed by the sheer volume of small financial leaks. You know, logically, that you are losing money through the cracks of your financial life every single day. But the idea of sitting down to call a call center, navigate a phone tree, and argue with a stranger makes you want to scream. The thought of negotiating rates, moving money between 5 different accounts, or tracking every penny in a spreadsheet makes you physically nauseous. It is boring. It is frustrating. And frankly, you have better things to do. So you do what the vast majority of people do: absolutely nothing. You pay what I call the laziness tax. You accept the higher fees, you ignore the subscriptions, and you just move on, hoping it works out. But what if I told you that the narrative about artificial intelligence has been wrong? The real boom of AI in 2026 isn't about robots writing poetry or generating art. The real revolution is happening in the background. It is the silent, invisible agents that are fighting these battles for you, recovering that money, and optimizing your wealth while you are sound asleep. My name is Tony, and I spend way too much time obsessing over how technology can remove human error from the financial equation. I look at the data so you don't have to. An AI managing your personal finances is the biggest trend of this year, but most people are using it wrong. We are going to explore how these new tools can automate savings in innovative ways you haven't even thought of. We are going beyond basic budgeting apps. We are talking about autonomous agents that act as your personal CFO, making decisions faster and more accurately than any human ever could. If you are someone who feels that, despite earning a good salary, money seems to evaporate before it ever hits your savings account, then this video was made specifically for you. I am going to show you the math and the psychology behind this shift. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you want to stop losing the money you work so hard to earn. Here is the thing. And this probably goes against everything your favorite finance guru has told you over the last decade. They tell you to cut coffee, to track every penny. But the truth is, traditional budgeting is dead. I am not just saying that to be controversial. I have the data to prove it. The old method of relying on willpower and spreadsheets simply does not work for the human brain in the long run. According to a recent 2025 financial behavior study, 84% of people who start manually tracking their expenses abandon the process before day 90. The drop-off rate is staggering. Why does this happen?
Yeah, I know.
It's not because you are lazy. It's because you are human. We suffer from something psychologists call decision fatigue. Your brain has a limited supply of willpower each day. Every time you have to decide whether to transfer $50 to your savings account or leave it in your checking account for dinner, you burn mental energy. Eventually, you get tired, and you take the path of least resistance: spending. What most people don't realize is that wealth, especially in the early stages, is not built by hitting a lottery jackpot. It is built by the sum of thousands of small, optimal decisions that, frankly, you are too busy to make yourself. I didn't want to just talk about the theory. For this video, I decided to put my own money on the line. I wanted to see if a machine could manage my money better than I could. Over the last 30 days, I handed over full control of my checking accounts to 3 of this year's most popular financial AI agents. I gave them the keys to the castle to see what would happen. Here is a specific example of what happened. The AI detected that my electricity bill wasn't due for another 12 days. Instead of letting my cash sit idle, it moved $4,000 to a liquidity fund, earning 5.5% interest.
You might be thinking, no, Tony, come on, that's just a few dollars. Who cares about earning an extra $4 over 2 weeks? And if you think that, you are missing the bigger picture. That is $4 from one bill, one time. But if you compound that efficiency across your entire life and invest those pennies at 7% over 30 years, we are talking about over $160,000. That is retirement money created out of thin air. But passive saving via interest rates is just the tip of the iceberg. That is the easy stuff. Here's where it gets really interesting and honestly a little bit scary. Let's talk about algorithmic negotiation. We all know we should call our internet provider to threaten to cancel so we get a better rate. But we don't do it. It's awkward, it takes hours, and we hate conflict. I connected a specialized negotiation AI to my accounts. What happened next was brutally efficient. The AI didn't have to psych itself up, it just went to work analyzing competitor pricing in milliseconds. The AI contacted my provider via chat. It didn't say please or could you possibly. It cited 3 better offers from competitors and threatened to cancel service immediately if the rate wasn't matched. The AI has no shame. It has no social anxiety. It doesn't get tired of waiting on hold. It doesn't care if the customer service rep is having a bad day. It simply executes the optimal strategy to save you money. Now, I want to be very clear about this because context is everything in finance. Not all AI tools are for all people. I like to view finances through frameworks or what I call the wealth ladder. If you are at level 1 with a net worth less than $10,000, your problem isn't investing returns. Your problem is cash flow. You need AIs that act as defense, plugging the holes in your bucket so you can finally fill it up. But if you are at level 3, nearing $1 million, saving $10 on Netflix doesn't move the needle. This is where tax optimization AI comes in. It harvests tax losses daily to offset your gains. This is what most people don't understand about the ultra-rich. It's not that they are smarter than you, it's that they have family offices, teams of people managing their money. The AI of 2026 is democratizing the family office. It is giving you, the average person, the same tools and strategies as a billionaire, all for a $10 monthly subscription. That is the game changer. Now I know what you are thinking. Tony, are you crazy? Giving an AI access to my bank passwords? What if it hallucinates? What if it sends all of my money to a crypto scam in the Bahamas? That is a valid concern. Security is the #1 risk, and you should be skeptical. But let's look at the other side of the coin. The mathematical risk of doing nothing. Inflation is a silent thief. It steals 3 or 4% of your purchasing power every single year if you stand still. Human error, forgetting a payment, buying things on impulse, is a quantifiable risk that costs you thousands. Today's tools use read-only or limited custody permissions. They can move money between your own accounts to optimize yield, but they require your biometric face scan to send money to anyone else. You are still the final gatekeeper. Look, at the end of the day, this isn't really about the technology. It's about getting your life back. It is about cognitive load. Money is just a tool to buy time. If you spend 10 hours a month stressed about bills, arguing with providers, and moving decimals in a spreadsheet, you are poorer than your bank account says you are. The financial revolution of 2026 doesn't require you to be a math genius or a day trader. It just requires you to be humble enough to admit that a machine might be better than you at the boring, repetitive tasks. My recommendation is simple. Start small. Download one of these agents. Let the AI negotiate just one bill. See the results for yourself before you commit everything. Because Because the only thing better than making money is making money while you are literally doing anything else, playing with your kids, sleeping, or just living your life. As always, my goal is for you to stop worrying so much about money and start living. Subscribe, hit the bell, and leave me a comment. Would you trust an AI to pay your mortgage? Keep investing.